Hi everyone, my name is Cole, and in this tutorial I will show you how you can implement my VR swords system into an existing project that you have in Unreal Engine. So when you download the VR swords from the marketplace, it'll give you a complete project that you can use as a starter template. It also has a few demo games in there that I made just to give people a sense of the feel of the swords and the general mechanics of them. So you can use it as a starter template for a game. But if you have a game going already, it's nice to be able to just add that to your project and get the swords working and implement it as quickly as you can. Okay, so let's get started. I created a new Unreal Engine project using the VR template. So nothing has changed from the default settings there, except that I changed it to forward shading in the properties. Okay, so the first thing we can do is just open up your project folder, head over to content, and then open up the VR Swords System project folder that you got from the marketplace as well. Go to content and just copy the VR Swords folder over to your project's content folder. Okay, cool. And as soon as that's done, you can open up your project. Cool. So there we go. The first thing you can do in our situation, let's just open up the motion controller map. Find it in here, motion controller map, so that we can test out everything. Cool. So everything is set up here to work by default with your VR headset and controllers. So let's just check quickly VR preview. Cool, got my hands. Teleport over here, pick stuff up, throw stuff around. Cool, so that is working. So now if we go into swords, VR swords, blueprints, here you'll find all the swords that is included with the pack. Let's see, let's add a cutlass, nice pirate sword. Just put it where we want it. Cool. One good thing to do is just add a reflection capture to your scene as well, just to get a better look at the swords. Cool, so if we say don't simulate physics, it should just hang in the air until we pick it up. So let's just see that. Okay, now you'll see, because of the way it's set up, I can't pick up the sword yet. If you use the VR Swords project as a template, everything will work straight out of the box. But if you want to add it to a new project like we're doing here, there's a few things that we're going to have to change. Cool. So let's see what we need to do. So the first thing that we'll do is, the main problem is these swords use a different blueprint interface from the default one. So what we can do is just change the blueprint interface that the swords use. And they've got a little bit of an extra setting in it. So what we can do is just head over to your virtual reality BP folder, and in blueprints you'll find the pickup actor interface. So what we want to do is just add a variable into here so that we can tell it what hand we're using to pick it up. So if you click on pickup, you'll see the inputs here. You can just add a new parameter. We'll call it hand. And for the variable type, it's going to be e-controller hand. Let's compile and save. So now what we can do is open up the blueprint of the sword we want to use. And if we click on class settings, here you'll see it's using the pickup actor interface swords. So this is just a modified interface that I made specifically for the swords. But we can click on add, type pickup, and add the default project one. Okay, so now what we want to do is just replace the pickup and drop events. So if you head down here, you'll see event pickup. If you right click and type pickup, you'll see there's an event pickup. Oh, we need to compile first. There we go, right click, pickup. Now you'll see two. One is from the pickup actor interface and one is from the pickup actor interface swords. So we don't want to use this one anymore. we want to use the pickup actor interface that comes with the VR template. So we'll click on that and then hold Control and just move all these nodes into our new event. Then we can delete this one, zoom out, go down. Here we'll see our event drop. We can just right click, type drop, and again pick the one that just says pickup actor interface, or whatever your interface is you're using in your project. This is the default one that comes with a VR template. So we can click on that, hold Control, just move it over, and delete that one. Now we can go to class settings again and just delete the swords interface. Yes. Okay, compile. Okay, and one more thing, we need to head into your Virtual Reality Blueprints folder. There you'll find the BP motion controller. So this is basically your hands and stuff that you're using. If we open that and open the functions, grab actor function, here you'll see it's triggering the pickup command or the pickup event in the interface. And because we added a hand variable here, there's a little pin there now that we can just connect our hand variable from the motion controller to that. And that'll tell the interface which hand we're using to pick up the sword. And that just helps with the placement of the sword in the hand. Cool, so that should be it. Let's hit play again. Grab that. Grab that. There we go. That's working. You'll see the placement is good in both hands. You can grab it upside down. There we go. Okay, cool. So for the one-handed swords, it's that simple. For the two-handed swords, there are a few extra things you need to do because they reference the player pawn as well. So let's just look at that as well. Blueprints, find a two-handed sword like the katana. It can be wielded one-handed or two-handed. Let's just put it over here and disable simulate physics at start as well, so it'll hang in the air until we pick it up. And let's have a look. So open up BP Katana. So the first thing we'll do is we'll search for cast 2 and then we'll find the cast 2 BP motion controller swords. So that references the swords motion controller that's included with the VR swords pack. But again, we want to change that to the one that you're using in your project. So in this project, we'll be using the default VR template motion controller blueprint. So we can double click on that and then change that to cast to the BP motion controller. Cast to BP motion controller. Not the swords, just the plain motion controller. So we can alt click on that just to disconnect it. We can control grab that one and plug it in there. Now you'll see it sets a reference to the motion controller. So we need to change the variable type of this second hand reference variable. So we can do is just click on it and then head over to variable type and type BP motion controller. Again, not the swords, just the normal one, object reference. Change variable type. Okay, close that. Now you'll see it's giving us a little red line here because this is still referencing the swords controller and it's plugging into a pin that's no longer valid. So we can just plug this one in there and then delete the old cast. And remember to plug the get owner node into your BP motion controller node. Okay, so that should be it. Now if we compile, it'll give us a few errors where this variable is referenced in the blueprint. So we can just hit compile and we'll see with the compiler results, it'll give us these errors. So we can just click on that and just go fix those quickly. So what we can do here, second hand reference, just drag off that, type motion controller, just scroll down to the bottom, get motion controller. There we go. We can control, drag that one into there and delete the old one. So now that one's fixed. Click on the next error You'll see here we get the hand mesh, so we can drag off that and type get hand mesh, scroll down to the bottom, get hand mesh, hold control, change that, delete that, and then with the is valid node, it's just checking if this is valid, so we don't need to change anything. We can just plug this one into the pin. Now that's fixed. Then we can click on the next one. This is a little bit more complicated, but we can just do the same thing. So we want to replace this is valid. So we just drag off the new pin, type is valid, then plug that into there, delete that one. There we go. Now we are going to drag off this one, and we're going to get this grip state. Get grip state. Go. Let's do this one while we're here as well. Get hand. Scroll down. Get hand variable. There we go. Okay. So now this one is setting the second hand grip state variable over here. But that is still using the enum of the VR swords project. And we want to change that to the VR templates enum. So we can just click on that, type grip, and then just set it to grip enum instead of grip enum swords. Grip enum, change variable type, and close that. Now you'll see we've got a little red line here. We can just plug our new grip state into our new pin over there and delete this grip state. Now that's fixed, and we can just plug this into there, and close that or delete that. Okay, now we've got a little error here. You'll see this is just checking if it's equal to grab. So we can just alt click on that and then plug that in there and then just set it equal to grab again. Okay, now we can compile. Oh, there's one more left. Get the hand mesh. We can drag off the new pin, type get hand mesh, scroll down, get hand mesh, hold control, just plug it in there and delete this one, compile. There we go. Okay, the next step, find results. We are going to search for cast 2 again, and you'll see we are casting to motion controller pawn swords. So this is the pawn that I made for the swords project. But for this project, we're going to use the default motion controller pawn that came with the VR template. So we need to change that as well. So double click on that. Cast to motion controller pawn swords. So we can drag off here and type cast to motion controller pawn. Just motion controller pawn without the swords. There we go. We can plug that in there. Just alt click there. Now you'll see we can plug that in there. Cast failed goes there. And now we've got the same situation that we had the previous time, where this variable is referencing a motion controller pawn swords object. So we need to change that to motion controller pawn. So click on the variable, click over here, motion controller pawn without the swords. Click on object reference, change variable type. This just searches for references to the variable. Now we can plug the pin in here, delete this cast, and that's good. Cool. So now we just need to fix the references to this variable again. Just hit compile, and it'll give us a few errors. Click on the error, you'll see. Okay, now we just need to replace these lines. So we'll drag off here, get left controller, there we go, and over there, get right controller. Now see, if you try to plug this in there, it won't be able to, because this is getting a grip state from a different object reference. So let's just drag off this and type get grip state, There we go. Drag off this one. Get grip state. Cool. And the grip state is just open or closed or whatever, so we can just hold control, plug that into the new one, hold control, plug that into the new one. Now we can delete these old ones. Now you'll see this old left controller is still going into here where it gets the hand mesh. So we can just drag off the new one, get hand mesh, scroll down, get hand mesh. And for the right controller, the new one, get hand mesh, scroll down, go, and then hold control, plug that in there, hold control, plug that in there, delete the old ones, compile, still getting an error, oh these ones, just delete them, compile. Oh, I nearly forgot, we need to change this back to can grab, compile. Cool, so let's test that out. Let us put a slice mesh in here as well. There, let's hit play. Cool. Oh. Okay, cool, so let's grab this. One thing we forgot to do was add the interface to this blueprint. So click on class settings. We're still using the swords interface. We need to use the pickup actor interface. Hit compile. Then change over here with the drop event, type drop. And again use the pickup actor interface target. Hold control, plug that in there, delete the old one, and then with the pickup event as well, we're going to right click, hit pickup, event pickup, hold control. So if you're using a different interface in your project, you can just make these changes to your interface that you're using instead of the pickup actor interface that came with the VR template. But if you started your project with the VR template, all of this should be the same. So we can delete the old one. Click on class settings again. Just delete the swords interface. Compile. Cool, let's try this. Now we can pick it up and grab both hands. And should be able to slice this as well. There we go. Okay, cool. So the slice object is also made to be able to be picked up with your hands, but that's also using the swords interface. So if you want to be able to pick up the slice objects as well, let me show you how to do that. So we open up BP Slice Mesh, click on class settings, add interface, pickup actor interface, compile. Don't worry about this little error. Let's replace the event pickup. Just make sure you're selecting the correct one. This is the swords. This is the pickup actor interface from the VR template. And hold control. Replug these. Cool. Compile. Class settings, just remove the old swords one. Yes. You'll see this one doesn't use the drop event from the interface, as it uses a different technique to see if the object is still being held or not. So what we can do now is search for cast to. So we're casting to BP motion controller swords. Just double click on that. And instead we want to be casting to BP motion controller, not the swords, just the normal motion controller. So we can plug that in there and plug that in there. wonder we've got an error again. So we just need to change the variable type of left-hand reference and right-hand reference. Select that. BP motion controller object reference, change variable type. Don't need to wait for that. Select the right hand, BP motion controller object reference, change variable. Cool. So now we can plug that into there and plug that into there as well. And I think that is it. We can delete this one. Compile. Now when we're getting these, we just need to fix those quickly. Click on the error. Get grip state. Plug that in there. You'll see it's checking if it's equal to grab again, so we can just delete that, then we'll be able to plug it right in and then just set it to grab. And the next error, same thing, drag off that, get grip state, and again it's checking if it's equal to grab. We can delete the old one, plug the new one in, set it to grab, compile. There we go. There's one more thing that we need to change. We can just say get overlapping actors. And we just make sure that this is, see, that's also still referencing the motion controller swords. So we can just click on that, type BP motion controller, not the swords, just the normal one. Just check over here, BP motion controller swords. So we just type BP motion controller. This is fine, that's fine. Compile. And now we should be able to pick up the object. Just stand up here, slice it. And again, if the swords aren't moving fast enough, you won't be slicing your object, or if you're hitting with the blunt end. And now we should be able to pick up any of these pieces. So we can chop that, pick this up, throw it away, chop that, pick up this piece, punch something that's in the real world. There we go. Cool, so that is how you integrate the VR sword system into your existing project. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Send me an email or leave me a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks again